already seeing some movement on the water over here. So I'm gonna come over here, hopefully not spooking everything off. So I want to try something a little. What was that? There's probably a turtle over there on that log. I want to try something a little bit different today. And that's just kind of going back a little bit to the basics. And kind of throwing a little bit different stuff. And all the flukes, although the flukes were and still are, I even brought some out with me today, they are still getting us catches. I still want to throw other things. So one of the things we're going to try, and I haven't really thrown much, I haven't really thrown many worms. And that was kind of like one of our big things for the summer, was to throw more worms. So I've got this big ribbon tail, and I don't think I've ever thrown ribbon tail, not that I can remember. It might be in a video, so if you watch my videos, I'm sure you'll be able to tell me, hey, you have thrown ribbon tail before. But it's not often. I see a bunch of, like I said, a bunch of movement over here. See if we can. And it is weighted. I don't know if that's good or bad. We will soon find out. It's tough too, because I see all these videos talking about how, like, oh, if you're not throwing a worm in the summer, you're missing out on catches and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, I just never have I ever had that kind of luck with a worm. Oh, I got hammered right there though. Okay, that was a terrible hook set. So this is one of the rods too that had that line in it that was fraying. Oh, man. Oh, y'all, God bless. Y'all, I had one. I felt him running away with it. But I was trying to reset my dang line. Man. Yo, he was right here. Let's see if I can just put it back in there. Oh, I'm not gonna get it now. I was tempted just to hook set anyway, but man, that's my luck, y'all. I'm telling you, he just picked it up and ran off with it. Okay. Oh no, really? Oh, I'm telling y'all. I'm the king of getting Texas rigs stuck. The king. If you need a Texas rig stuck, just call me. Oh, I saw a weight go after it and I felt a hit. Oh, what is going on, y'all? Alright. Well, I stand by what I said. That there's just, as much as people like to say it, I don't have the same luck on ribbon tails. On any worm, really. I've gotten catches on worms, but just people talk about how they're essentially like worms for them are skunk busters, and I just don't see the same kind of results at all. At all. It's very frustrating. There we go. Goodness, y'all. Oh no, he's gonna get up in this grass. So I pays that strong line, y'all. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's a good one. I couldn't tell if that was mostly. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We gotta go get our scale. Okay, all right. Goodness. Oh, all right. Holy crap. He choked this thing too. Holy crap. Look at that. Chunky dude. Beautiful fish. Look at the size on this thing. We definitely gotta weigh him. That's probably the biggest fish we've caught out of these two ponds. I can't remember if I weighed the last big one or not, but man, when I hooked it on him, he felt pretty big. But I just couldn't tell, and then he got up in that grass, and I was like, well, I'll just reel him in and hope that he didn't break off. I mean, he said he felt like big, but it's mostly grass. Goodness. All right, y'all. That alone makes you take back everything I said about how do you clear this. There we go. All right, so zeroed out. Zero. Oh, 2.6. 2.7. 2.7. Man. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful fish. I want to have a good release on him where he's close to the water. I don't want him to get stuck in all the vegetation and stuff. And I think there's, oh gosh, I think there's a pretty clear spot right here. Oh gosh. All right. I'll try to do this as gently as possible. Oh, there's a frog. Oh yeah, he's off. Beautiful. He did spine me a little bit. We were fighting on the ground there. I was mostly worried about just him flipping up and hooking me, or man, there's nowhere. Oh, this is a solid gun there. It's not normally solid ground, it's normally water. Wow. What a turn of events that was. God, he cooked it so good. He was at the back of his throat. And I wasn't letting that sucker go. I was not letting that sucker go. To the point where I don't even remember where he was at. But we're going to see if we can't find some more pond monsters. I didn't say lake or anything else. Some people were like, oh, that fish isn't that big. Well, you're not wrong. But again, for this area and for things like this where we're fishing ponds like this, you could stand at one end and, like, honestly, if you were better, like just even a little bit better than me or had like a better setup or whatever, you could easily cast across this, easily. And I mean, the whole thing's maybe an acre and a half. I mean, it's not a big pond at all. And it's just a little neighborhood pond. The one over there is a little bit bigger. It might be 3 or so acres. But I mean, for this size pond, absolutely, that is a big one. That is a good fish. A nearly 3-pounder. Oh, I saw some wakes. Oh, dang. I didn't grab their attention fast enough. They kept on swimming. All right, well, although I do take back what I said about the worm, because I haven't caught a fish that size in a little while. It's been a week or so, maybe 2. I caught a good sized fish. So, I mean, we've been catching baby bass and bluegill and stuff. Try not to get skunked. And man, we did not get skunked today. What a good fish that was. Not really getting much on this anymore. I say that and then I get a catch. That was a small one. Oh, ain't bad. Not a bad one. Oh. It's always the most dangerous part, switching hands. There we go. There we go. Kind of a small one, but actually, you know what? I just want to test my weighing abilities. So this is, I would say, probably say it's a good 3/4 pound, half pound. I'm gonna show 0 first. Okay. So maybe about half pound or 3/4 pound. See how accurate I can be. Oh, dang. Not very. Come on, guy. Hold on. I just want to get a good weight on you. This is almost a pound. Dang. It's crazy too, because I wanted to underestimate, thinking that I would be wrong. But see, if anything, that goes to show you, like when I underestimate these fish, you can only imagine how big they actually are when I don't have my scale. Because I'll say like, oh, I don't have my scale, so I'll say, you know, I try to underestimate a little bit. But on that one, I was thinking, you know, 3/4 pound maybe, and it came out to almost a pound. So let's see, just a little bit. I'll reel it in. Oh, I don't know what that was. Oh, wow. I sent that thing like a rocket straight back at us. Look, so much so I sank it in the dirt. Oh, oh. What in the world was that? I thought I hooked something. I thought I had a fish. There's no way. I think it didn't budge if it was a fish. So I'm thinking it wasn't. Alright, so I've gotten 2 on this. I brought these others out, but I don't, you know what, just because I brought them out. Let me try throwing it. Yeah, see, this is the line. I fixed this rod and it's still already got some already got some frays in it. But look at this. So there's nothing wrong with my eyelet. And right here, I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's fraying and tearing apart. This is that one that last night I was fishing at a pond and it was super dark. And I may or might not have a video of it. It depends on how the video turns out once I edit it. But they were hitting this thing like top water. Like they were just come thrashing out of the water at it as soon as I casted it in. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like as far as like hitting a fluke on top water. There we go. So they do want the fluke today. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Much different fish than we caught the first 2 times. Oh, I don't want to hurt your gill plate. There we go. How did he eat this? Oh gosh. We will let him calm down a second. All right. Come on, look, I'm here for you. Oh gosh. I know, you're not in the water yet though. There he goes. So, although that wasn't a big one, they are still wanting to fluke. And I'm glad that hooked up first try pretty much, because I had been having issues in another pond with this hook, and I was beginning to think that it might have been the hook that's having issues. But it might have just been those fish. I'm telling you, there are some fish that aren't caught often. Sometimes it's really easy to catch them. However, there's also times where they just, in a weird way, they don't bite the hook right. And as far as skiing the fish in, sometimes the reason I do that is, depending on their size and everything like that, if I slow down enough for them to be able to sink and start swimming again, it gives them too much slack, and they'll just come off. So another reason we kind of just ski them in, especially if they're small enough, is for that reason. Yeah. All right, let's get a new. Oh, what the? So what was that? The June bug. Let's try the black live until weightless. I'm just kind of seeing, this will be on this new weird hook. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I like the new hook. I'm sure some people do. I'm sure for certain baits it might work really well. That's fantastic. Or maybe I'm just rigging it wrong. I'll have to look it up. I'll have to do a little research on it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and toss this guy back in my pack. This is so good. Hey, maybe it's a color. I doubt it, but and we're going to keep all these together. Last few casts. We do have some Zoom flukes. We have some Zoom worms. I brought all my Zoom worms. We have a dark Zoom fluke. I kind of want to try it a little bit. If dark, I mean, it's just a straight up black fluke. So let's see, maybe. A little strange, I won't lie. We'll see how it does. I will say this hook seems to do better with the fluke body style. It seems. Let's see if black flukes get some loving. I'd be more content if I just got a nibble on this color. But let's go back to a color no for our last casts. Actually, for my last cast, because I'm seeing so much activity over here and none over here now, we'll come out in the sun, see if we can get our last catch over here. Which I tell people all the time too, you gotta keep moving around. For myself in the mornings, a lot of times I don't have a ton of time anyway. So if I start catching fish in one spot, I tend to just stay there until it's time to go. It's crazy how this pond went from a pond that I almost always got skunked in to catching some pretty decent sized fish. I will say these are slightly larger than what I thought I was ordering. I do that a lot because different brands have like slightly different sizes and they don't all look good in the same size. All right, but hey, we had a good day. Caught a 2.7. I think 2.73 was the exact size, but it's good. Got a little, almost a 3-pounder, 2 3/4 pounder. I think you had pretty good luck. So anyway, we're getting ready to leave. This is gonna be our final cast. Just figured I'd come back in the shade and have one little last maintenance cast, we'll call it. But yeah, it was a good day. Caught nearly a 2 3/4 pounder. Caught another one that was right under a pound. So, and I think we're both on the worm, or just the one was on the worm. I think they were both on the worm. Or on the fluke. So now I can't remember. I think it was on this. Anyway, yeah, it wasn't a bad morning. I wish we had longer to fish. I kind of wish they were a little bit more active, but summer fishing is hard. It's tough. It's very tough. It's tough it's a very tough mental game fishing summer, because you're doing what you're supposed to. You're throwing the right baits, throwing the right colors, you're throwing everything that should be catching bass, but you're not catching bass. But there's no, and I get frustrated with it too, and I feel the same way, so I understand. But sometimes you just feel like even then I should be catching bass, and you're right. But unfortunately, bass don't care. Unfortunately, bass do not care, and they're gonna do what bass do. And summertime is just, there's a reason that the summertime is known for being a tough season for fishing, especially your local ponds and stuff. And honestly, I think you might have a better luck fishing your ponds than you would bigger lakes and stuff. So if you're still watching, I appreciate it. Leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell notification for every time I upload a video. And again, it doesn't cost you anything, helps me a ton, especially if you watch all the way through to the video. I really appreciate it. So we'll catch you at the next one.